Yo guys, what's up? My name is Eddie and welcome back to Tech Urban for another tech video as always, and today we're going to be reviewing something pretty awesome. You might find it a little bit overpriced, but it's still a pretty cool device, and that is the Surface Pro 4. So the Surface Pro 4 the Surface Pro 4 starts at $799, which you might think is a lot of money, and I think that the base model is not as good as what you can get for a little bit more money and get the Core i5 Intel version. I feel like that's a good medium, but if you really want something a little bit more powerful, I would go with the i7 for sure. My personal one is 128 gigabytes of storage, and I don't think that big of a storage is necessary just because I can use an external hard drive and dump everything that I need to on there. Also, I have the Core i5 version just because I feel like the Core and the M3 version just isn't as good and up to par for what you're paying for, but the i5 is a very good median between the i7 and the M3. Now, the Surface Pro 4, although it's small screen size of 12.3 inches, has a 1920 by 1080 display. So basically what that means, if you don't know, is that you can watch YouTube videos or any type of video in 1080p resolution. This is pretty awesome for the form factor, and I know that right now it might seem like a cool deal, but I think in about 1 or 2 years, every laptop will have standard 1080p resolution. Now also you can get different amounts of RAM, 4, 8, and 16 gigabytes. Mine has just 4. I feel like it's a little bit less than what I would have liked. An 8 would have been better, but a 16 would have been ideal, but I feel like the 8 would be ideal, but I got the 4 gigabyte just because I'm not doing anything too serious on it. And don't even try to game on this thing, it's not gonna work. Just watching a YouTube video on it makes it overheat and make the fans go crazy. Now the Surface Pro 4 has a okay battery life of 9 hours watching videos, so 9 hours of video playback. So I'm assuming you're gonna get around 10 hours with normal usage. But another thing that makes this thing amazing is the form factor. This is tiny. My hand isn't all that big, and it can basically fit on the keyboard. So would I recommend this for a travel laptop? For sure, but I would not recommend a Surface as your daily driver. I would recommend maybe a desktop, a MacBook Pro, something with a little bit more power that can withstand a little bit more stuff before it has to overheat. Now, although this has a 1920 by 1080 display, that doesn't mean that it's a good, sharp, quality display, but it is. It's an amazing display. I really like how the display is. It's so sharp, it's very fine, you get very accurate colors. So, you're like, right now, oh, this thing's awesome, maybe the price is a little bit of a drawback, but this computer is awesome. Why doesn't anybody have this? Well, two actually major cons. I use this for school, and this, you're like, oh cool, it comes with a keyboard too. It does not come with a keyboard. It's $130 to get an extra keyboard. And you can't just buy a knockoff one, since this is the actual Microsoft one that fits in those brackets. In these brackets right here, it doesn't want to focus. But another thing is, it doesn't come with the pen, the stylus. and for me this was a big deal because I had to get one, obviously, because I'm going to be doing math, writing, anything on it. I want to be able to write. And sure, you can write with your finger, but that's not as good as actually holding something and writing like that. So, to conclude, would I say this is the best computer on planet Earth? No, I would not say that. But for the price, what you get is pretty good. You're getting a certified Microsoft product, which means it's going to be high quality. This is basically buying the Microsoft. Basically think about it as the iPad Pro or something similar to that, but it's kind of a cross between the iPad Pro 9.7 and the MacBook Pro. It's kind of in between there, a mix of those features, but I would say it's closer to the iPad Air, meaning the iPad Pro. Now the camera is really good actually for a laptop. It's got a 1080p rear and front facing camera. This is cool because if you have a really demanding job where you have to do a lot of video calls, like Skype calls, anything like that, then this thing will get you good high quality definition, 1080p for those Skype calls. Also, it has a 5.0 megapixel, yes, 5.0 megapixel front facing camera and an 8.0 megapixel rear facing camera. That's not the greatest, but if you want a camera, go buy a camera. Don't use the Surface for a camera. No. So, what would I recommend this for? I would recommend this for maybe a student like me, and I would also recommend this for traveling, as it's really light. It comes in at 1.73 pounds. Yeah, light.